she's sleeping in her bed. Now he's sleeping in her bed. And it's Jupiter and teardrop.
Grantley Buffalo were an American rock band from LA who were formed from the ashes of a band called Shiva Burlesque in 1991 and led by Grantley Phillips. So why the Buffalo? I couldn't find anything that could tell me why they put the word Buffalo in the name of their band, but they did. They released 4 albums before disbanding in 1999. They did reunite between 2010 and 2014, but released no more albums during that period. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Fuzzy by Grantley Buffalo, which was their first album, if I remember rightly. Yes, and was released in 1993, and it's my first time listening to it. So I do recognise Jupiter and Teardrop. It was somewhat of a thing around the time, and I have it on some magazine cover CD compilation somewhere, or some other compilation. And as I was writing these notes, I wrote, I've started a search and I'll get to you. And it was actually quite quickly. I identified it. It was on Q Magazine's DCC CD2, which is a nice collection. So I describe this as being rock, maybe even raw. Wikipedia says that this is alt country, gothic country. Acclaimed Music, who have made the list that I'm reviewing my way through, says alt country, Americana. And I, who am I to argue? But I'm not as convinced as I could be that there is that much in the elements of country in here. I think it's definitely more rock. I would say that it's rock that it's a bit like U2, but it's a bit more to it. It's looser and grittier, and it's got this inherent feel of reality to it, which is an interesting thing to try and ascribe to music, I guess. There's a lot of a kind of big stadium feel, and it feels almost live. And I think that might be the central quality of the music on this album. It feels like they came in, they set up, they plugged in, and they played and sang, and that we get that rough edges and all. But it may well be that the rough edges is all very carefully calculated. But in that case, it worked. There's a sizable reverb that adds to this feel that makes it sound like we're in a church hall or something. But it is nice and clearly recorded. That doesn't make it mushy. It makes it a bit expansive, and it's loose in a way that it's not hugely loose, but it is looser than some music in a way that I find quite effective. I think it gives that feel of again reality, authenticity, maybe is the right word. The other thing that's, I would say, unusual in this album is the prevalence of acoustic guitar. For rock, there's quite a lot of acoustic going on here. It does quite a bit of contrast between lighter and heavier going on. So Mr. Phillips is giving it quite something as he sings. He's got a strong Springsteen-like voice, is expressive and emotive. He gives it quite a bit of emotion. He's not quite as full on as Jeff Buckley on his album Grace, which is kind of a bit of a benchmark, but he's getting in that direction. He sounds like he's really feeling it as he sings. So we've got songs about life. Maybe that's where the country idea comes from. Jupiter and Teardrop is in the form of a classic ballad, for example. Also, so it came out at a time when acoustic guitar in rock was a thing and was making a headway. And this Jupiter and Teardrop reminded me quite a bit of something, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Eventually, I tracked it down. I think it reminded me of What's Up by Four Non Blondes. Just very, very similar chord sequence and acoustic guitar sound. Anyway, how did I like it? Yes, it's a strong album. It's got strength and confidence. It's got vulnerability too. And this combination of strength and confidence and vulnerability is a very attractive thing. for me, but I think for many people. I just reviewed Billy Idol as the last review, and there's a sharp contrast to that in that there's much more kind of depth of emotion and depth of integrity to this, I would say, than the Billy Idol album that I just reviewed. Sorry, Billy. So I would say this is proper rock with a proper heart and production that lets that shine through, which is, I think, is no easy feat to do that in a way that kind of makes you really not think about the production very much. So I really liked it. I think it's a great album. But I'd love to know what you think of this album. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you agree with me. Maybe have you got anything interesting to say about Grant Lee Buffalo that I haven't brought out? Maybe you want to tell me that my review is excellent, or maybe you want to tell me that you don't agree with it in some way. There are loads of things you could say, and I'd love to hear them. So please do leave me a comment in the comments section. But that's it from me for now.